What's up, team, and welcome to another episode here at Tromos. So today we're gonna do another install video. So for the longest time I've been running one of those really cheap switch panels that you can find on Amazon. So I decided to upgrade this time. So Auxbeam hit me up. We have this new switch panel. Why don't you try it out? They went in and they sent me actually two of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna install one and then we're gonna let you guys win the other one. We're gonna go through the whole setup. I'll show you what the box comes with, all the awesome features it has, because the one I had was super cheap. It was just touch and turn it on. I mean, honestly, it did everything it was supposed to do. It was only like 60 bucks. We wired everything. It was perfect for SEMA. And then but yeah, it's time to get some nicer colors, dimming features. It has a bunch of other little things that you can actually use, and it's a lot nicer, honestly. I already opened the box, checked it out. So we're here with Papa Vic. Where's he at? Dude, Papa Vic, dude, look at the new fit. Nobody knows about that fit right there, but Papa Vic's gonna help me out. He's a wiring wizard, so we're gonna hook that up. So we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna unbox it for you, show you which one I got, and we're gonna get to it. All right, so the one that we're gonna work on is this RGB 8-gang multifunctional switch panel. So I already opened one of the boxes. Like I said, they sent me two of them. I will be giving out the other one, but the box comes with pretty much everything you need. If you ever installed one of these, or if you haven't, it's honestly relatively pretty easy. Once you have it kind of figured out how you're going to route the rest of your wires, this works awesome for all your lights, your fridges, pretty much anything you have to give it power to. We'll break down everything as we go and we touch it. I will show you my old system, and then I'll show you why this one is so much better. But this is everything it comes with right here, and then Thunder Vic's gonna go ahead and break it down for us a little bit more. All right, so they don't have a bunch of relays, so I'm gonna have Thunder Vic kind of talk to you guys about that, because I don't understand it as much as he does. So tell us.
So relays are a mechanical switch that controls, and relays can wear out. They can also bounce and get corroded. But solid state is electrical switches like transistors and stuff. They don't wear out, or they can, but very unlikely that they wear out, and they're also more durable over time.
Gotcha.
You're able to get a lot more switching power into this in a smaller space.
Yeah, it is a lot thinner than my setup. So we'll break it all down again once we're installing it, but I did want to show you what I have now, so just so you can see the difference. So the old box I used to have was this box right here, and it was really big and bulky, and it didn't have a lot of switches. So mine was a 6-gang. Now we're going to an 8. I'll show you the difference so you can see the, damn, and this box sucked. Oh, there it goes. But you see, this is the difference where this is all relays.
Yeah, these are all relays, and that's what a relay looks like all inside here. So there's a lot bigger wiring and everything like that.
Yeah, mind you, I only paid like 50 bucks for this, and it worked. You know, I've been using it for 2 years now, no issues. So you might get lucky, but again, over time, something like this with the bouncing around, rock crawling, starts moving, a lot of this stuff can go bad. And I have noticed that in my Bronco, where I used the relay shook a little bit and then it blew out. Having something like the Auxbeam definitely helps you with that, and then the sizing is a little bit better too. The one good thing is that when we switch to this, to that, everything is wired here. So what we're gonna try to do is put the Auxbeam in the same location. So all we have to do is really plug everything to the Auxbeam switch panel, and then run the one wire that goes all the way across the control panel inside. Yeah, we're gonna remove this and we're gonna get going. All right, so he's removing the old one. As you can see, there's a bunch of wires. We're gonna clean that up, but all we're gonna do is basically disconnect them from this switch panel and move them over to the other one. Probably cut them down a little bit, make them a lot neater. And yeah, it should work just the same as that one, with a little bit more features that we'll show you shortly. One thing I forgot to point out, before you start working on the vehicle, make sure you unplug your negative. You will have to touch the positive to give that power. So might as well just disconnect both, have them out of the way. That way you can work without, you know, any issues or getting electrocuted. You don't want any of that. But yeah, we're gonna disconnect that and start getting everything prepped. All right, team, so we're deciding on where to put it right now, and it looks like one of the brackets they gave us is actually gonna work out. We will have to self-tap into the side right here of the Jeep, but it's no big deal. Once you're locking in a good spot, you want to make sure it's nice and tucked in. There is a hole right here that we're trying to use again, but with some of these wires that we don't want to relocate, we might just tap into one of the sides right here just so it fits nice and flush. But it looks like we are going to put it in the same location where this bigger one was. We're just going to push the bracket out a little bit, but as you can see, looks like it's going to fit nice and tight right there. And it's really cool because the wires will come up from the top, and then you can just kind of mount whatever you need to. All right, team. So Victor's gonna get nice with it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually rivet it, so that way you don't self-tap it if you do have a riveting machine.
You can just buy this on Amazon. Show them this.
So this setup right here, how much was it?
It's by Astro. I don't know. Probably 50, 60 bucks.
But yeah, if you want to get a rivet machine, and it actually makes it.
It comes from China.
it actually looks a lot nicer because it looks factory. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mark it and rivet the 2 spots because that's where we decided where we're gonna put it on, and then the wires will come out through here and we'll feed it and connect everything. When you throw in a rivsert, that's what it looks like. It's a lot nicer, cleaner, and then you have the specific bolt for that rivsert, and yeah, it looks nice and neat instead of having a self-tapper go through it and then you rip it out and you still have all the metal shavings and all that good stuff. So now that there's located where they're supposed to be, what we're gonna do is start planning it all out. All the wires from the old one are here, so all we're gonna have to do is pretty much cut all these off, wire them to there, and let's keep it moving. Yeah, stick around. We're gonna go ahead and mount this, and then we'll show you what the next step is. All right, team, now that we know what we're gonna do with all the wires, he actually has a really fancy little tool. So this tool gives it power, and it probes everything that you're gonna wire, and it tells you what wire is gonna go where. So that's what we're going to do. We already know that everything's going to fit here in this location. If you don't have a switch panel though, you won't have to do any of these steps. You'll just have to mount it basically where you want, and then you will have to plumb all your accessories depending on where you want to put them, but they all come down to this location right here where the main base is. So once we mount it, what we're going to do is just rewire those into the new switch panel, since we already have it all plumbed out into the truck. And then yeah, it's gonna be easy. So if you don't have it plumbed out, then once you get your new accessories, you'll have to pretty much run wire from the accessory down to this control panel, and then the module inside your truck will control it. So but yeah, we're just testing each one. So a little tester,
and this is a tester, hooks up to your battery, and then it's fused and you can hit a switch.
Yep, see, there you go. And it probes it, so that way you know which one you want to wire where. That's a really useful tool, actually. So what is it called?
It's called a power probe.
Power probe. So yeah, if you want to get one of those, grab one of those. That way it makes everything easier. But what we're going to do now is just make sure all these wires are good. And we're going to ground everything out the right way and make sure it's all set up correctly. And then yeah, keep it moving. All right, so as we were installing it, we did notice that they did come with the resettable fuse. So that's really nice, just in case something happens. This prevents pretty much from your truck lighting on fire. It just pops a fuse, and then you come and check everything, and then you just reset it. What you want to do is you want to put this as close as possible to the battery, just so that way you can not only find it and check it real quick, but that way you don't have to trace it back any further than, you know, so close.
And it's also nice because you could just switch everything off if you wanted to.
Yeah, and it does have a switch that you can shut it off.
Instead of a regular fuse would just blow, and then you'd have to replace it. This will just self-trip.
Yep.
Which hopefully that won't happen today.
All right, so as Papa Vic wires everything down, again, this is going to be different for every application depending on how many things you already have pre-wired on your truck. And if you don't have anything, once you connect this and it's all set up, it's really easy to route everything. And all you got to do is put a positive and a negative in there, and then power it, and that's it. So each one in the booklet will tell you how much power each circuit has. And so it starts with 30 amp, and then it goes down from there. So you want to put your bigger amperage accessories in the front.
Amp draws up here.
So you want to put your bigger amp draws up front, and then you move from there. But I'm going to show you some of the other things the box comes with while he knocks that out, and then we'll finally wire it all down and into the truck, and we'll show you where we're going to mount it, just in case you do have a JT. You can put it there if you like. If not, they do give you a couple brackets. So here's one of the brackets they give you. This one swivels too. You just have to loosen it up a little bit so you mount it, and I guess you can swivel up and down. They also give you a really simple mount, which you just basically tap, and then you put this on there, and then there it is. But this is a nice aluminum casing. I'll show you what all these buttons do, because it does have a couple little settings that you can mess with. And once it's all wired up, powered, we'll show you what it looks like as we hit the lights and turn them all on. But it does come with all the stickers you need, mounting brackets, tappers for just in case you want to put it to your ignition. It really depends. You can kind of play around with it, but the instructions that they do give you on in each box are really thorough, and that way you don't burn your truck down or mess anything up. It's really smooth, honestly. Yeah, we have some of the fancier tools and whatnot, but that's only because we're already pre-wired. There's steps that we're doing that you might not have to. We're upgrading versus a regular straight up install. We're gonna finish wiring it, then we'll dive into the inside of the truck, show you all the functionalities. But so far, so good, man. Stick around, we're gonna finish up. All right, team, so as Victor finishes up the wiring, I did want to show you the inside of what a JT looks like when you want to get into this side of the panel right here. So all you have to do is remove, there's 2 10s. There's one that goes right here, and right underneath there, you just pop these little caps off, and then you just dive in, take those off, and then this gets loose. If you have one of these tools to remove trimming, it will come really useful just so you don't damage any parts. But since my panel is right here, that's the old cheap one I used to have, we're going to remove that. And I'm actually going to mount it in the same location. The new one just has better tools. This one was always on and kind of annoying sometimes when you wanted you know, your cabin to be nice and dark while you're driving. it was super bright and it did get all up in your face. I did plan to move it down here somewhere, but I'm gonna just leave it up here since I could dim it and change it all. Really like that location, so that's how I'm gonna leave it. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove all this, remove this panel, and then show you what the new one looks like when it's mounted up there. Alrighty team, so I just removed mine. So that's what my old one looked like. It's all beat up, stickers were coming off. It's a little thicker. I think we actually made this bracket ourselves, but that's what it looked like. And then the new one, it's obviously a little bit bigger, but it's a lot nicer. It's not a plastic casing, this is aluminum. And again, this is RGB, so you'll be able to change the colors and everything, where this one was just green. And I chose it to be green. A lot of these cheaper ones, you can either get them in blue and red or whatnot. But it was like, you know, functional. Everything worked. Again, it was cheap, but it serve me right. Honestly, I never had any issues, never failed. It's time for me to upgrade it. And I was looking for an 8-panel because I do want to put like a fridge. Pretty much everything powered through this. That way I don't have to worry about much. And the Auxbeam 8-panel is going to do me right. We're going to finish up wiring everything, and then we'll put the stickers on this and show you all its functionalities. Stick around. All right, team. So we're wrapping everything up. Everything's getting bolted on. So this is some extra step stuff right here. You don't necessarily have to do it, but if there's certain wires that are rubbing against the body of your truck, usually if they're hot, they can cause an electrical issue. Again, this does have a few precautions to kind of stop it from burning up your truck, but Mr. Popovic has all the fancy stuff at his house. That's why I come here.
I mean, you know.
And he likes doing his stuff correct, so he loomed everything correctly. Everything's really, really nice. And yeah, we're just gonna finish the final step, get it powered up, and let's get it. All right, Vic, so walk it through, now that it's all completed, some of the steps, the important ones at least.
Okay, so we got everything fused correctly, wired correctly, except he wired the white lights wrong. And
so he split my rock lights.
lights.
My rock lights, I have the front and one switch in the rear and another switch. So all we have to do is combine those and then wire them all to one switch and it'll be fine. But everything else is nice and packed up.
You get what you pay for. Anyway, so we mounted this on here. We can still remove this. The wire that turns this on, we just kind of ran it into the fuse because we couldn't have a small mini fuse adapter on there.
Yep.
But so you want to get this fuse as close as you can to the fuse blocks, because if there's any short, you want it to short out the fuse. If it shorts out here, it'll blow the fuse here. So you always want to keep your fuses as close as you can to the positive battery terminal. We wired this up all nice, tuck this up so it goes down nice.
But yeah, everything was pre-wired already, so all we have to do is kind of just switch everything to this one.
Yeah.
To this circuit board, and now that it's all wired up to this, everything's working. Let's push some buttons, and we'll show you the functionalities from the inside of the truck. Yeah. I haven't put any of the stickers or anything, but we'll start showing you what it looks like because we already tested it and everything's working correctly. All right, team. So everything's wired. The app is downloaded. This is what the controller looks like. It's really easy. All you have to do to connect it is you hit this Bluetooth, you hit your connector, and then it's gonna turn green, and then you're fine. So one really cool thing is it is RGB, like I said, so you can go purple, blue, green, kind of choose whatever colors you want. And you can control all your lights from here too. They turn on and off. You can see the lights come on and on from there. One really cool thing about this is when you press them and you turn them all on, so they turn all red. If say you're driving and you need to turn them all off at one shot, you just push the middle and it shuts them all off and then shuts them all on. It's some really cool features. My last module didn't have any of that, so the switch panel was real basic. Again, you can dim this one. So this will give you a little bit more options. My phone's not working, but you can dim it so that way during the day. That's pretty dope. Again, that was one of the biggest things for me. It does have some modes also, so you can do toggle. You can make your lights pulse. Some of them don't like the pulsing, so it depends on the lights, but I'm sure that you can figure that out with some of the lighting that you have on your system. But as you connect stuff, you can kind of play with all the little options it does give you. But it's really cool. Again, the lighting, the color, that's a little small touch, but the unit itself, connecting it all was really, really smooth. It just depends on how many things you have already wired and how much work you have to do. But I think if you don't have anything wired and you're just installing the system, it probably take you an hour or two. And then after that is the longer stretch when you got to tube the rest of the truck. If you have lights in the back, and then you just plug them into the circuit panel.
Approximately 10 hours later.
What's up, guys? So as you can see, the atmosphere changed. I'm not at Popovic's anymore, so we ran out of time. The video is pretty much complete. You guys saw some of the features of the Auxbeam, but I wanted to talk about the giveaway that we're actually connecting to this video. Part of the installation and the upgrade on the actual Gladiator, Auxbeam was nice enough to sponsor this video and also give back to you guys, the community. So what they did is they sent me the extra Auxbeam, like I said at the beginning of the video, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna give one of these away. So the Auxbeam is just like the one I installed. It's the 8-gang switch panel, and this is the RGB, the really, really nice one. I think retail goes to about like $250, $300. Somewhere depending on where you buy it. Sometimes they have sales or whatnot. We are gonna give one of these away. All you have to do is comment below. Make sure you follow all 3 of our social media, which is TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And then go give Auxbeam a follow on Instagram, and that's it. And then you'll be entered. But it's that simple. Just comment below, check all 4 social medias, and then you're in. What we'll do is I'll give you guys till Monday so that more people get a chance to join in. And then we'll give it out on Tuesday. We'll choose a winner live, and then that's it. All right, so once again, shout out to Auxbeam for hooking us up and then hooking you guys up. There's going to be a lucky winner on Tuesday morning. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and TikTok. And if you have any questions, send me a DM, email. You guys know how to reach me. But appreciate you guys sticking around. We also have swag, so if you want to buy a hat, sweater, t-shirts, we have everything in stock. We even have real man sizes. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up, man. We'll see you next time.